What's my line, Zach? What's my line? Give me Pennywise advisory. Listener discretion is advised.
No, Pennywise advisory. This show is explicit as a motherfucker.
Line.
Listener discretion is advised. Wisconsin is no stranger to strange sightings like UFOs, satanic cults, Jeffrey Dahmer, and the Slender Man killings. But one of the more fascinating of all of Wisconsin folklore is the Beast of Bray Rd. The supposed werewolf-like creature was first sighted in 1936 in and around Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Multiple witnesses have claimed to have allegedly seen a 6 to 7 foot tall wolf-like creature that can move upright on its hind legs like a human. In the 1990s, multiple sightings of the werewolf creature brought it to national attention, with coverage by television programs like Inside Edition, Sightings, and In Search of Monsters. Join us today as we break out some silver bullets and sink our teeth into the Beast of Bray Rd.
I love werewolves!
It's evil! Don't touch it!
It's alive!
I was with you.
They're coming to get you.
By the power of Christ.
This is
Me?
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Willow. Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. This is Zach.
Spar.
And how's it going, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right, but I'm gonna retcon something.
What's up?
Well, the Borley Manor #1 came out, and after we recorded it, I did go back and listen to it after it was released, and I did fuck up pretty major. So I wanted to.
So did I.
I wanted to go back and change it because I know the people that are into Jack the Ripper are super into Jack the Ripper. So I was like, I fucked up. I'll own it. And I know that he killed in the Whitechapel district in 1888. And I said that, well, this was past
1863. Yeah. Well, I thought you said it was before, and I just said, yeah.
Well, I was meaning, I don't know what I was meaning the way I said it. I was meaning like he was in the past from this, maybe. I don't know. I said it wrong, so I'm getting out in front of that bullet.
I was too busy thinking about sexy ghost nuns.
Yeah, well, that'll happen. But I was looking down at the page and I was like, oh, it's just because, well, they say it was like underneath the gas lights, but there were no gas lights when Jack the Ripper was killing because the Whitechapel district was so fucking poor. They didn't have gas lights either. Right. So I really fucked that up. And I'm just throwing it out there in front of everything.
So what you're saying is, are you saying you're sorry? You're sorry boot that?
A little bit sorry boot that.
All right. Well, don't feel too fucking bad. I know I fucked up. I think I said 1963 instead of 1863 about 4 times. So
if you did, I didn't notice, and then I didn't notice what I had said, even though I fucking mumbled through that shit. I went back when I heard it. I was like, oh no, people are gonna hate my guts.
No worries there, eh? No worries.
Yeah, we'll get.
Well, are you ready to break out your bad Wisconsin accent?
I don't have a bad Wisconsin accent.
Oh, you got a good one.
No.
Well, all right then.
I have a bad one.
Okay.
Those are the options. Then mine's horrible.
That's when you just can you. All right, repeat after me. You.
Right.
You. Like EWE, like the animal. You. Betcha.
You betcha.
There you go.
That's watching fucking Fargo.
Yeah, you betcha.
Close enough.
Holy crap. You betcha. All right.
That's what it sounds like.
You want to talk about some werewolves and shit?
Fuck yes.
All right. Let's dive into this.
It's one of my favorite things.
All right. So we're going to go to Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Elkhorn has a population of just over 10,000 people. It's in the county seat of Woolworth, located 40 miles southwest of Milwaukee and about 48 miles northeast of Rockford, Illinois. Just to kind of put it in context for you.
No, where Rockford's at.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not too far from you. It was named by Colonel Samuel Phoenix in 1836 when he saw a rack of elk antlers hanging in the tree, and that's when he proclaimed the area Elkhorn. It's nicknamed the Christmas card town because of its elaborate Christmas displays in the downtown area every year that they've done since, I think, the 1930s. And local artist Jan Castle Reed paints scenic portraits, which are later printed and made into Christmas cards.
It's the Christmas card town. That's what they
Yeah.
go like. Okay.
But it's also known for something else.
Oh, yes.
The Beast of
Something
Bray
way
Rd.
cooler than a fucking Christmas card.
Oh yeah, the Beast of Bray Rd. Oh, you betcha. Now Bray Road it's just like a typical like county rural road, like blacktop road. We've both grew up on those. We know what the hell they look like. It's surrounded by farmland and some woodlands that run along each side, and it's not really that long. It's only 4 miles long. It runs between U.S. Highway 12 and it ends at Wisconsin Highway 11. And I think it's named after the Bray family who first settled there. And there's still some Brays that own farms and surrounding farmland around.
I was going to say they named the whole town after some fucking deer horns. This is like the first person there is like, well, that's what we're going to call it.
Yeah, that's where the Brays live down there. Yeah.
Bray Road. That's it.
Yep.
Nailed it. So it's only 4 mile stretch where all these sightings happen.
Yeah, 4 miles long.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I do love these stories.
Yeah. How could you not love stories about werewolves and whatnot?
I'm a huge fan of werewolves.
All right. So most people have described this wolf-like cryptid as a werewolf for the most part.
Yes.
It has similar characteristics and similar to sightings of the Michigan Dogman, which maybe we will cover at a later date. So most claims put it at around 6 to 7 feet tall, with gray and brown fur, an oversized head of a wolf, shiny yellow eyes, and pointed ears.
Perfect.
Its body is described to be that of a muscular man, but covered in fur. And it's been seen moving on 4 legs and also standing and moving and running upright on its hind legs. And sometimes, on a few occasions, it's been seen sitting and kneeling like a man.
Yeah. Some of them was like, it was along the side of the road and then like would race along the side of the car and stuff.
Yeah. I read a few of those. It's often also claimed to have a really nasty, pungent odor, like rotting meat,
like a swamp ape kind of thing. It's got like Sasquatch shit to it.
Yeah. Now, like I said before, most people think it's a werewolf. Others claim it to be a demon, and some even think that it could be a skinwalker or a wendigo.
See, that makes sense though, but because it does kind of follow that.
Yeah. And for those that don't know what a wendigo is, it's like a shapeshifter from Native American folklore.
Yep.
Whatever it is, Matt, the large number of sightings in the late 80s and early 90s drew enough interest that the local newspaper, the Walworth County Week, allowed reporter Linda Godfrey to report the claims of supposed werewolf of Walworth County. Try to say that 3 times fast.
Yeah. Werewolf of Walworth County.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Are we abandoned from all the Walworths or just this one?
Oh, shit. Now, initially, Linda Godfrey was very skeptical, just like I'm sure I would be too. I'm sure you would be too. But she soon became convinced of the authenticity of the claims, and later she wrote a book titled The Beast of Bray Rd, Tailing Wisconsin's Werewolf. And that is where the majority of the information that I've gathered comes from for this particular episode.
Okay.
It's a great book. She's a really funny writer.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more about this, I would highly recommend you go check it out. It's not a very long read. You can get through it in a couple hours.
I was going to say wasn't she involved with like Monsters Among Us whenever they did that?
I think that every television program that came and filmed there. They contacted her because she was the initial reporter that kept reporting on the sightings.
Yeah,
So
she's great.
She's a funny little lady too, let me tell you. So now we'll go to like the part where she first publishes her first article.
Okay.
And then from there, we'll go into some sightings. We're not going to mention all the sightings because there are a fucking shitload of sightings.
Yeah, I was looking some up, and I was like, I guarantee I'm probably gonna have the same ones that you've got. Watching these videos and shit.
I tried to pick some in a kind of in a timeline.
Okay.
So Linda Godfrey's first report was published on December 29th, 1991. But before she published her article, she'd spent many weeks interviewing people for the article before it was published. She'd been skeptical, like I said, at first about the sightings until she contacted John Fredrickson, who at the time was the Walworth County Animal Control Officer.
Okay.
And Fredrickson just pulls out this envelope out of his desk. It's like a manila folder. And on the front, he's just got it marked in Sharpie. It just says werewolf. And he just kind of hands it to her and he goes, here you go.
No shit.
Yeah. And the files in this manila envelope or folder contain many accounts, like 15, 20 accounts of various people in the county who had claimed to see what many described to be a werewolf.
I think it got crazy enough to where the cops weren't rolling their eyes anymore whenever they
No, they weren't. No.
They got far enough along. There's too many people calling in about this shit. There's got to be something.
Okay, so one of those sightings included a woman walking down Bray Road with her 2 children when she saw a deer run out of the woods across the road into a field in front of them. And closely pursued behind it was this hairy creature that looked like a giant wolf, but it was running on 2 legs. It was like, and it jumped a fence.
That's awesome.
On 2 legs. There's another claiming, cited by a local high school senior who saw the beast kneeling on the side of the road and what she assumed to be like roadkill in its hands.
Yeah, well, you got to get what you can get.
And this girl wasn't sure what she saw at first. And she went to the library to look for, a picture of what it could be, like a wild animal or something. And she actually contacted the animal control officer. And he pulled out that folder and he showed her a couple of pictures that people had drawn of, what they claimed to see. She's like, that was it. That's what I saw.
Okay, I've seen some of those drawings and some people done a pretty spot on job or a pretty good job.
Yeah. So Godfrey continued to contact everyone who had documented seeing the creature, and she interviewed all the witnesses that she could, all the people that were willing to do so. And over the next several weeks of investigating the sightings, she slowly became convinced that all these claims of the beast were indeed, they were genuine. So at that point, she deemed it was newsworthy, and she had the documentation from a county official to back it up.
Crazy.
So as soon as she published it, almost immediately, the story kicked up a series of letters and phone calls to the local paper, all from witnesses who had experienced similar sightings of the creature in and around the surrounding area. It spurred even more articles and more witnesses who claimed to have sightings as far as surrounding states like Michigan, aka like the Michigan Dog Man, and Illinois. And this led to so much attention. Eventually, it was picked up by the national news and had coverage from tabloids like the National Enquirer, television programs like Sightings, Inside Edition, Expedition X, which is on the Discovery Channel.
Love that show.
And When Monsters Attack, which is on the Travel Channel.
Travel Channel. Yeah, I love. What is it, Joshua Gates?
Yeah.
That dude's great.
Yeah. So the immediate attention, eventually kind of died down, but Linda never stopped investigating all the claims that had come in. And eventually she released all of her findings in this book that she published called The Beast of Bray Rd in 2003. And in the years following the book's release, many more sightings would be claimed by people in the area as well. So crazy fucking shit.
Once it gets to the point that there's so many people seeing shit, you got to just say, man, there's got to be something. because it's popped up everywhere. There was like shit like this going on in England for like a short, for
Yeah.
however long period of time, and they said it was this or that or this, and then it happens. It just is like sporadic
Right.
fucking shit of
Right.
seeing something like this. It's like,
And like I said, some of these people that have claimed to see this thing, they have different experiences, and some think it's like a demon. Some thinks it, that it is just like some weird deformed wolf, and some people think it's a werewolf.
I
So
like I like the werewolf thing most, but that is the scariest one.
and that's why you drink Coors Light, right?
Well, you bite me, you're in trouble.
God dang werewolf killers, man. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to some sightings now, okay?
Let's do it.
So this is what I found to be the very first claimed sighting, and it comes from like 1936.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So after Linda Godfrey's first article was published, she's contacted by numerous residents, and she discovered that the first documented sighting of a werewolf-type creature happened in 1936. Mark Shackleman was working as a night watchman at a Catholic institution called St. Coletta, which is near Jefferson, Wisconsin, about 35 miles north of Elkhorn.
Okay.
And the crazy thing about St. Coletta is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Kennedys, but they had a sister, and she had some serious mental health issues. Well, this was where she stayed.
Okay.
This is where they took care of her. So Mark Shackleman claims that he ran into the creature around midnight on 2 different nights while patrolling the grounds. He was a night watchman. The first night he ran into it, he found the creature kneeling on a Native American burial mound on the property. He claimed to see it kneeling and clawing with long claws at the ground as he approached it. But he says it quickly stood upright and fled as soon as it saw him.
Okay. Well, that's leaning more toward the kind of the Wendigo thing.
Yeah. So the next day, Shackleman goes back to the mound to search the area. And when he does, he notices markings in the dirt that appear to have like been made by sets of 3 claws. So like 3 claws dug in the ground, like scratch marks in the ground. And he noted that the thumb and the little finger of the creature's hand seemed to be quite short compared to its middle 3 fingers.
Okay.
So that would explain the 3 claw marks. Linda Godfrey recalls in her book from other interviews that some people also stated that the creature may have had tended to fold its thumb and little finger inward the way a human would when making a clawing motion.
Oh, yep.
So just to enter a little side note there for you. So Mark Shackleman goes back to the mount the next night at midnight again, and only thing he's got is his flashlight. And once again, he runs into this creature.
Okay. Okay. So he's seen something that he can explain, and he's seen these claw marks, and he comes back with just a flashlight.
Yeah.
Oh man, the balls on that guy. I would have had a fucking shotgun probably. If I was gonna go back.
Well, I think he was there more to scare off kids from trespassing on the property.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And when he first saw it the first time, he probably thought, it was a figment of my imagination. I saw a dog.
Yeah, I would have tried to brush it off to something else too.
Yeah. So the second night, he goes back, same spot, and the creature's there again, digging in the same spot. Only this time, it stands up and it just faces him. And Shackleman says he guessed it to stand over 6 feet tall. It's covered with like dark hair and smells like shit. It's got glowing red eyes, and it growled something like it was like a word that it growled at him.
Like it was trying to talk to him, maybe?
Yeah, it growled. He said it was something like Gadara. And Gadara is referenced in the New Testament. I think it's Matthew chapter 8, verse 28. And it's the place where Jesus healed 2 demon-possessed men.
Well, is that when he sent the pigs over the cliff or whatever?
I believe so, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So Shackleman also claimed that it seemed to have a neo-human voice, and it made eye contact with him. And he said it like locked eyes with him for many, many moments, and then it sneered at him and slowly walked away. He said, quote, "For a long time I stood there. That bad smell hung in the air, and then I said a prayer of thankfulness. I never saw that thing again or anything like it, but that damn thing came straight out of hell."
And then he went home and
end quote.
changed his britches because
Probably, yeah.
I would have shit my pants.
So this dude had been a heavyweight boxer.
Well, it
Okay.
doesn't matter if you got a 6-foot-tall wolf looking at you.
Well, I'm just saying this guy was no stranger.
Slouch.
Yeah.
All right.
But when he was retelling this story to his son, that's how Linda found out about it. He admitted that he was convinced that at the time that creature could have killed him easily if it wanted to. And
Okay.
it's also worth noting that Linda Godfrey, in her research, found that a priest from St. Coletta had taken part in an exorcism of a child, and afterwards he had suffered with similar symptoms to possession until his death shortly after the exorcism, and he is buried at St. Coletta.
Okay, that's crazy. All right, so he might have tried that exorcist movement where it's like coming to me instead of this kid and fucking. Okay, that's cool.
So that
Okay, not cool, but
all kind of ties in together, you know, especially with that Gadara and all that other shit. I found all that to be really kind of a strange coincidence.
Or, you know, bullshit.
But I want to believe, Matt. I want to believe.
I do too.
All right. So the next one that I found happened many years later in 1972. Police received a phone call from a woman who lived about 2 miles from St. Coletta, and she called to say that she had seen a large creature walking around in her farmyard. Now, the sheriff's department, they come out and they investigate. They don't find any trace of the creature.
Okay.
But 2 weeks later, the woman calls again, and on the second encounter, the beast walked up to her front porch, shook the screen door, slashed the screen door, leaving 7 marks in it 7 feet above the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes into her barn and puts a 30-inch gash into one of her horse's necks.
Yeah,
and then
that was.
Then it fled through the woman's garden, leaving like foot-long tracks. So it's foot-long feet.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite ones that I heard because it
feet.
Yeah, it actually went out there and killed something. They had well, here's proof of this. Something / this.
Yeah. Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. All right, the next one I found. Let's see. It happens in 1989. So we're jumping back. I'm trying to keep this kind of in a timeline. So,
yeah. That's
young woman,
pretty recent as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
that's almost yesterday.
Well, I don't know about that. Oh no. So, a young woman who was working at an Elkhorn bar was driving home about 1:30 in the morning on Bray Road. One night, it's in the fall of 1989, and she sees this creature on the side of the road. She says its back was to her when she first spotted it, so she immediately noticed that it has pointy ears. But as she drove forward and saw the creature from the front, its position was what got her attention. It was kneeling, its elbows were up, and its claws were facing out. So it's like it's sitting like a human being, like sitting there with something in its hand, like a human would hold it.
Yeah.
And she said she remembered it had really long claws, and the claws were holding chunks of what looked like a dead animal, and like roadkill.
That sounds so cool.
She got the impression that that was dinner time for whatever it was. She said its eyes reflected the glow of her headlights, as most animal eyes do, you know, just like a deer.
You can see in the dark, yeah.
Yeah. And she was surprised when the creature didn't run away, but turned its head to like look at her. She describes the animal as darkish brown gray and the size of maybe like a 6 foot, 150 pound man. And this is one of the encounters that Linda used in her first article she published.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Moving right along. We'll go to late December 1990. We've got 11-year-old Heather Bowie. She's been sledding near a creek near her house with some friends. And on the way back home, just before dusk, they saw what appeared to be a large dog until it stood up.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Then Heather claimed it had like silver, like in its brown fur. It had a face shaped like a coyote, but its hind legs were really oddly shaped. Um, all the kids there claimed the beast was like staring at them very aggressively, and they all ran. And as soon as they started to run, it chased them like a dog would run, but with bigger leaps. So it was like, yeah. And they said they made it halfway back to Heather's house before the creature turned around and disappeared into a cornfield.
Wow. All right. I love all these stories. It's like,
Well, I'm glad you like them. We got a fuckload more. You ready?
I sure am.
Okay.
I want to think it's real, but then I'm also like, nah, okay.
I mean, these people can't all be smoking crack.
Well, not all people are lying. It goes into everything else that everybody else does. But I mean,
Yeah.
anything that you're talking about, well, and there's millions of people seen this or that. But
Yeah.
one of these things, it's like there was something. It could have been a giant wolf, but
Oh my God, look at that. It's a werewolf. Holy crap.
What wolf stands up on his hind legs and walks around?
No wolf that I know of.
No.
All right. Let's move along to August 1992. 17-year-old Tom Brichta and a friend of his named Chris Maxwell had gone to a wedding reception. So Tom was driving Chris back to a campground after the reception where his friend was staying. There's a lot of fog on the road. And then all of a sudden they both smell this horrible odor, like something dead.
Okay.
And then within a mile, Tom hits something. He's not sure what it is. He thought, shit, did I hit a mailbox? So he backs up, and that's when he sees this big hairy creature walking and reaching out for the car. And he had his car window open, and he said, God damn, he said it smelled so bad. Thought he was going to throw up. And he said the fingers were either pointed or had really huge long nails on them, and its arms were long and odd shaped. He even claimed the creature had gotten a piece of pinstriping off of his car as he sped away. Okay.
I love the detail of the arms being long and slender with the huge hands, because I think that's the way werewolves should look. I love that description.
So on his way back home, Tom sees two cops parked along Highway 106, and he talks to them about it. He also calls the sheriff's department when he gets home and reports what he sees to a Lieutenant Lenz. He's a patrol lieutenant with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. Now, Linda Godfrey verified this story with Lieutenant Lenz, who informed her that on that night there had been a truck accident on Highway 106 and County Highway Z, and that 30 minutes later someone called in saying they saw a large object in the ditch at 106 and North Road and thought it looked like a bear. Squad was dispatched. They saw nothing. And these two incidents were 7 miles apart.
Okay, did they think somebody swerved to keep from hitting something, and maybe that's?
Well, they're 7. The two patrols were, or the accident was 7 miles from where they saw the bear, but the bear sighting is really near where Brichta was at.
That's what I'm thinking. Did they swerve to miss whatever the fuck this was, and then
yes, yeah.
Okay, all right,
yeah,
that's what I'm thinking too. I would have thought it was a bear too. If I seen something that size, I wouldn't have went to wolf. I would have thought bear if it was that big. But
yeah, but in Wisconsin, I don't know.
Not a lot of bears in Wisconsin. Probably not.
No, there's not a lot of bears in Wisconsin.
I wouldn't think so.
No. A lot of these are driving experiences. 1999, 18-year-old girl was driving down Bray Road near Delavan, which is a nearby town. It's in the same county. And she says her right tire hit something, lifted her up off the ground. Like that's whatever she hit, like lifted the back of the car off the ground.
Fuck's sake.
So she stops. She gets out to see what she'd run over. Nothing there. And she looks to the side of the road and saw this massive wolf form standing on two legs. And it's staring right at her. She rushes back to the car and she starts to peel away. And this thing tries to jump onto her trunk, but it slides off as she's, hits the gas. And she actually saw that creature again the same night after she picked up a friend from a party on the side of the road. And the girl saw that she picked up. She saw it too. And she said, look at that thing. And she just put her put the pedal to the metal again. She drove away. She didn't want another incident with a whatever it was, werewolf. We'll call it fucking werewolf.
It's got. What do you think it got her scent or something and fucking followed her?
Well, she's going down Bray Road again.
Oh, she was coming back by the other way. It was just sitting waiting, maybe.
Yeah. So Linda Godfrey later interviewed this girl, and this girl showed her the vehicle that she'd been driving that night, and sure as shit, this trunk has 2 sets of claw marks with the 3 claw marks on it.
Holy shit.
So
that's fucking cool, though. I mean,
I thought so.
Not if you're there, but
yeah,
to hear about it, it's like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. Do you want more?
I just keep bringing it, man.
All right, I got one.
Werewolves.
I got one more. This one's actually from Reddit.
Okay.
And this is their firsthand experience. And I'm just going to read it from their perspective here. I live in the town of Franklin, Wisconsin. Franklin is 12 miles away from Miss Bray Road.
Okay.
This was about 1997, 1998. We just moved to a brand new subdivision, and we were currently the only house that was built. The rest of the area for a long distance was empty lots on what used to be adjoining old farmland. Our backyard had a running creek, and on the other side of the creek was some brush and a single lane road with an old wooden streetlight that given off an orange hue about 30 yards or so. It was a warm summer night, and I was having a sleepover with one of my friends. We had all the lights off, and we were playing hide and seek in the dark. I went back into our sunroom and saw something crouched over and illuminated through the brush and the orange streetlight. I'm not sure how to describe its body posture. You know how when you're about to throw up and you hunch over on your knees and palms? It was similar to that. Its breasts were so deep and heavy that you could see its chest heaving from the distance. We had I had 100, goddamn, I can't fucking talk today again. We had a 140-pound Akita who stood 6 feet on its hind legs, and I could easily tell that whatever it was dwarfed my Akita. I also know that it wasn't any type of dog or wolf. Its hind legs were thick and muscular like a man's, but its body tapered at the abdomen and head like a wolf or canine. I called out to my friend who came over and just said, "What the fuck is that?"
There you go.
To me, trying not to make much noise. We sat there as it was hunched for a good 30 minutes. My dad, who was a hard-ass Vietnam vet, came out to see what the hell we were up to doing up so late. We asked what it was and just said, "I don't know." He went outside and we stayed in, and we were scared for my dad. He had one of those old mega lights that had the power of 1,000 candles, and he took it with him. He stood on the driveway and shined it onto whatever we were watching. It looked back at us, and I honestly don't remember its eye color. What I do remember is that when it took off into the brush, it took off upright like a sprinter from the on all four stance. My dad heard it splash to the creek and hightailed it. It was one of those fucked up moments you don't really talk about because people would think you're crazy. When I heard about it so many years later, I immediately knew what I'd seen too.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then there's sightings of this one girl claims that this thing chased her through the woods and and treed her, and she was stuck there for, I don't know, what'd she say, like 3 hours in the tree or something like that.
Because she wrecked.
Yeah. There's so many. If you want to read a lot of these, like I said, you need to check out this book that Linda Godfrey has. She's the one that actually named the Beast of Bray Rd. So now reports claim, sightings, they continue. I think the last one was July 2020. And that's when somebody witnessed a large hair-covered creature in Spring Prairie, Wisconsin, which is also in Woolworth County. It's a pretty small county. I looked it up. It's 14 miles from Elkhorn. So
it's right there in the roaming range of where this thing was.
Yeah,
anyway.
kind of creepy, very creepy.
I love these stories.
I know you do, man. I just love not having to do a fucking serial killer and getting all pissed off about shit.
I'll tie on, buddy. I'll have one coming here before too long.
Holy crap, Matt. Holy crap.
I don't know what it is about a werewolf that I like so much. It's like one of my favorite things to watch, like in the movies and shit like that. Like if you do a werewolf properly, I'm just like, yeah, this movie's great. It's
So
like,
what do you think the perfect werewolf movie is?
oh, the perfect one. I don't know. I like The Howling,
Those were good, yeah.
and then Bad Moon has got like a super good werewolf in that. But then I also like Ginger Snaps because that's a different take on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do think it needs to have like a huge head with this huge ears sticking up. They need to stick up and then have the long, lanky arms with the huge fingers like that
Yeah.
lady said that she's seen, tapered at the waist, these huge long legs with these huge feet. It's like, I don't know if it holds up. Like, I don't know if it holds up. Van Helsing, when that movie came out, because those werewolves were CG'd, but they
At the time it was pretty good, man.
they
Yeah.
look pretty
I
fucking
enjoy that.
sweet.
Yeah.
I really like the look
I
of
agree.
those things.
I like what's the is it Little Red Riding Hood? That's a
No,
good one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, Trick or Treat, those werewolves
Oh,
were bad as shit.
I was gonna say that would be my next one. Yeah. Well, as far as theories of this thing goes, Matt, is it a dark entity? You know, is it something supernatural? There are lots of satanic cults. You know, they do animal mutilations, they do ritualistic sacrifices and shit.
Yeah, I don't get into that whole satanic panic thing anymore.
Well,
It's like
here's the
fucking-
deal: that same Walworth County animal control officer, right? That
Yeah.
John Fredrickson. He says that there is a substantial evidence of illicit cult like gatherings in the area of Walworth County, in that, in fact, he was informed by a Wisconsin special investigations officer in the late 90s that Walworth County was one of the top 3 counties in Wisconsin known for occult activity from the mid 80s until the late 1990s.
Okay, well, occult activity it could be, but not satanic. Well, if they're not LaVeyan Satanists, because they don't believe in harming animals, so, and they don't believe in harming people either, so
Yeah.
that would be out. So it could be an out of bounds fucking satanic thing where they were going about it their own way. I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
Well, all I know, he claims that he's got documentation and he's witnessed firsthand some of these sacrifice locations when he was when he was working as the Walworth County animal control officer.
Well, there definitely could have been people out there doing it, but I wouldn't throw Satanists into it. I don't want to throw them under the bus over this because there's different kinds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. All right, so that's that theory. Then there's, you know, the whole Native American theory. We know Native Americans were in that area before. There's burial mounds in the area. You know, is it a skinwalker? Is it fucking?
I would go that way. I think I would go that way before the others.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would go for too. Yeah, like
Yeah.
skinwalker, or, and then is it the same thing as the Michigan Dogman? I mean, is it all the same creature?
Man, it seems like it all boils into one. It's like it happens in this place, and then it goes to another place, and then it moves to this place, and then they don't see it anymore, but because it's somewhere else, it might be all together. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well,
I don't think we'll ever know, but I'm
I don't
so
know either.
fucking interested in it.
All I know, Matt, is every time I drive through there from now on, I'm gonna make sure I got a fucking 12-pack of fucking silver bullets,
You
man.
gotta have it.
And they're gonna be iced down, and the mountains are gonna be blue.
The heavy metal will save you, I think.
I believe so as well. Well, Matt, that's really all I got. That's all I got on the Beast of Bray Rd. I just wanted to do a nice little quick one, fun one.
No, that's fine because, I mean, we couldn't go through all the stories anyway, man.
We totally could have,
thousands of them.
but I think that we would fucking probably lose people about the third of the way through.
Oh, so they're seeing the same shit. Oh, okay.
All over, yeah, all over, yeah. Oh my God! Holy crap! And then there was this giant wolf in the middle of the road.
Man, but how? I mean, okay. So I'll tell you how scared I would be, but how awesome it would be if I got away. Like if I seen like
So
I
you'd
heard,
be shitting your pants and have a boner at the same time. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm not gonna go with a boner. I wouldn't. I don't think. I don't think I'd go there. But I heard some of the stories is like you see something crouched over at the side of the road, and then you drive by it, and it jumps up and it's on 2 feet and it's keeping up with your car as you're trying to go.
Yeah, some of these sightings claim that this thing was keeping up with a car that was going like 70 miles an hour.
See, now that's fucking awesome. But not if you're in the car.
That's true.
Once you get away from it, you'd be like, that was the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. By the way, I'm never going back there, but that was fucking awesome.
Right? Right. Oh shit.
So it's another one of those things. Like I want to see things, I do, but then I don't know. I said, oh fuck it, I'm not gonna go back into it. I said it. I said it before, where I don't think about how scared I would actually be. I'm always just like, I want to see it. Let me see it.
I want to see it from like 1,000 yards away.
Well, I don't know about 1,000. Close enough that I need to be in a safe location. I need to be one of those Jurassic Park balls.
Yeah. There you go.
Where you can roll through there, but nothing can get you.
Oh shit. Well, guys, I guess that's the Beast of Bray Rd for you then, and thanks for hanging out with us this week. What do we got next week, Matt?
Oh, I have no fucking idea.
I don't either.
There's nothing coming up next week. No, I want to thank people. If you're listening and you're rating and you're, liking us, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I can't tell you enough how much that means that you guys enjoy listening to this fucking show. Where us two dumbasses
Hey, speak for yourself. It's Dumas over here.
Dumas.
Yeah, guys, thanks for liking, rating, and subscribing, and sharing it with your friends. It's pretty cool.
It's fantastic that. Like even any reviews, I'm just like, oh man, that's great. People like this that we're doing.
Yeah. And if you do want to get a hold of us, we are on Instagram, Facebook. I think Instagram is going to be hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. Mister's got a period in it, all one word. On Facebook, we are at facebook.com HMFPPOD. And you can also email us at HMFPPOD@gmail.com.
Hell yeah.
So
bring us some stories. Please bring us some stories. If anything's happened to you, come on, we want to hear it, man.
Come on, share.
We want to believe, and I want to hear it. I want to hear your stories. If something like some creepy house, I mean, if it's the tiniest thing, even, I mean, God, I love hearing all of it. It's like I can't get enough paranormal shit.
I just can't get enough. Oh, Matt, I'll think about you when I'm going to the Misfits, man.
Oh, dude, you motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, Zach's going to go see the actual Misfits together. And I can't make it down to Texas to do it.
I bought you a record.
Yeah, you did. That was the first Misfits album I ever owned. And you sent it to me. So I was like, that's fine.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Now you got it on vinyl. All right, guys. That's it for this week. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Later.
It's evil! Don't touch it!
It's alive!
I was with
They're coming to get you.
power of Christ.
This is
Me?
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Fucking werewolves kicks ass. Werewolves of London. That's where you were going.